Welcome to Virtual Training for Physical Education Teacher, organized by Department of School Education, Nagaland. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is William Koso. I am a professional football coach. At present, I'm working as a nodal officer for sports development, Department of Youth Resources and Sports. Today, I'll be sharing a brief and slide in football. I'll be sharing on 4 topics today. As you can all see in the screen, I won't read out, I won't repeat again, but let us quickly go and have a look what all this says. Now, as you all know, we play a vital role, and I can say this is a definition. There are lots of definitions, but as you can go in, you can see it has been mentioned. This quote was taken by one famous coach you all know about and heard about him. That's by Pep Guardiola. Okay, let us discuss a little in depth what a coach must address. Here, in football context, first thing, a coach must understand the physical condition of its players. Now, you need to know whether he's injured, whether he's physically fit for today's training, or whether he's physically challenged. Now, when we are dealing with the technical part, now each person varies. Each person has a different adaptability capacity. Now, it varies from kid to kid. When you're especially dealing with kids, it varies. Some are slow learner, some are fast learner. Now, accordingly, you need to teach them, and if needed, you need to go in personally and teach them how to go about with this technique. Now, when you are dealing with a group of kids, when it comes to when I'm discussing about the mental capacity of a boy, now it will still vary. Some are mentally strong, some are mentally weak, some are mentally slow. In one way, when I'm using the word slow, they are slow to adapting things. So now when you are dealing with kids, especially this mental area, you should not let them know that you are dealing them mentally, but it is your ability to understand the mental stature of a kid. Now when you are coming to a tactical session, now you must know that we have discussed in physical, technical and mental, everyone has a different physical, technical, mental capacity. Now to let them perform like a team, now you need to work on these three key areas so that you are success in the technical situation. Now for instance in football, when you are teaching them a tactical moves, say like overlapping, now there should be a communication gap. There should be a understanding with the ball. Now when the kid who is slow with the ball will have a tough time, crossing the ball to you if it's in that situation. So you need to design the training in such a way that it meets your requirement. I hope that is clear. And when we are going on the social status, now as discussed above the 4 points that kids varies, but the social environment in which they are brought up, raised, some come from a good family, some are from a downward families, but as a coach you must balance them together so that when they are in your session they feel same, oneness is there in the team, so that they will deliver, and then like you have expected, the kids will perform accordingly. You cannot just keep on pushing the kids to do this, do that, but you need to understand them. You need to go down to their level and then make them feel secured whenever they are with you. Now, as we have seen that a coach must understand and focus on the key areas. Now, when we are doing that, we will come in and deeply see what has to be kept in mind when conducting a training session. Now, when we come in here, now we need to, as a coach, we must understand age-specific trainings. Now, the age-specific trainings are, as you can all see in the slide, who are we coaching? Now, is it the children? We can take it as a grassroots, which is a age category to 6 to 14 years of kids. Now, when you're training in a youth team, now that's adult, that's 16, 18. Now, when you're training a senior team, that's adult, that's 18 plus. So, all the age group has different teaching and training method, which a coach must understand and need to know before we come into the pitch. Now, if we look at that, let us break up into 3 different phases. For your reference, I have make a small slide. From there, you can understand. When we look at the phase 1, it talks about the fundamentals. Now, when we are talking about the fundamentals, it's about introducing the game to the boy, building relation between the ball and the kid. Now, when a kid comes to the ground and he finds that there are 20 of them and then there is only 2 balls, now 2 of them will be playing with the ball and the rest simply standing. So, as a coach, when we come to the training, we need to know how many kids are there and what are the materials we are going to use today, and then whether we have 1 ball each for 1 kid. If not, now a coach must pre-plan, make a plan so that whenever the kids are engaged in the game, they are not left out. They are all playing, because when the kid comes to the ground, they want to play. Now, when we are looking at the second part of it, when I'm referring to the word the playful technical training. Now, when you're dealing with a kid, especially in the grassroots section, you cannot force them that this is how the ball has to be kicked. This is how the ball has to be received. Of course, you can do that, but there is a way of doing that. Whenever you are asking a boy to push the ball, now it has to be from his ability. Say the boy has pushed past a ball. Now, when he has passed the ball, whether it has been pushed properly as per the technique demands, but you need to make him understand that and then encourage him to do it better. Like how? Supposing you be an example. Kids, they love, they don't like a guy, a coach, a teacher who keeps on lecturing, blah, blah, blah. The kids love, they all the time they want to play. They want to do things on their own. So a single picture will speak 1,000 words in it. So you need to carefully, slowly, properly show them the correct technique once, a demonstration. Now, which will solve the problem. Now, some kids who adapt fast, they will be able to do so. But the other kids who are a bit slow will have difficulty in coping with the other one. Now, you need to balance this training. Now, I'm not asking you to divide the classes, but you need to understand who are fast learners and slow runners in your team. As a coach, you need to maintain a notebook, a diary, your data where you know each and every one capability. Before I have jumped into this phase, I was talking about the strength, the physical attributes, the social, the mental. Now your understanding has to be brought now into the pitch. You need to understand how a kid can perform. Now when the kid is doing a drill, like I was talking earlier, if a boy is not able to do so, now you may need to quickly change your plan. Maybe make a pitch wider, or maybe you need to segregate some of the players to another group so that they have a different environment, so that they get adaptive to the environment there immediately. Otherwise, sometimes the kid knows, even the small boy, they can understand that they are being left out from the team or maybe from the game. So as a coach, you need to work on your strategy, and then you need to have a backup plan, so that if you find a situation like that happening, now you need to quickly change it without letting them understand or noticing. Now, in the third point, what I've mentioned is soccer specific basic training. Now, when we have broke up the phase, this phase 1, I'm referring to the grassroots section. Soccer specific basic training. Now, the kids, they are very intelligent now these days. The kids are accessible to television, internet, and then they can watch some moves in YouTube and all. So when they come to the ground, they expect a coach to do all those sort of activities which they see in the television or in the internet. Now, as a coach, you need to design the training in such a way that they have come, they have enjoyed, and they have learned. At the same time, that is our key area. So when I'm mentioning soccer specific basic trainings, you say example, you can design some drills which is related to adults training, but the variation is different. The pace of the activity, it is a bit slower and easy for them to adapt. And then they design the training pitch in such a way, you set your markers or cones or your goal posts, as it is being done for the adult training sessions. Now, basically, when you're training a young boy, you cannot make them do the same thing what has been done for the adults. So you need to design your training plan in such a way that the kids come, play, learn, and enjoy. And at the same time, they should not be left out thinking that they have missed what has been done by the senior team or the professional players which they see on the TV. Now, it is us, and it is depend our intelligence and our resource to make the training more lively, so that they will come and enjoy, and then that is more realistic to them, so that once they go home, when their parents ask them, like, how was your day today? Oh, it was good. We did some moves that Cristiano Ronaldo was doing on the pitch with the ball, or maybe they were doing some somersault activities where it is really, which has been done in TV and which they see. Okay, when we are coming to the different phase, now in phase 2, on the first point, now I have written as shaping the players of the future. Now, what do you understand by that? Shaping the players of the future. Now, they have grown, and then in phase 1, they have learned. They have learned and they have visualized what actually happens in the pitch. Now, in this age group, now you can start introducing how a ball has to be kicked, how a ball has to be received. Now, in this age group, you will find boys who are very mischievous. They want to do things of their own. But okay, you let them do that, but you need to achieve your target, achieve your plan. So, controlling a ball. Now, when the ball approaches the boy will want to move forward and then control the ball and immediately run off. Now, but if you stop him from doing that, he might feel like, the coach is not letting me play. Or maybe the boy will feel that the coach doesn't want me to play. So he will be left out. So I think he will not be under your grip. So in each training session, you need to get hold of the boys. They need to be with you, and then they need to do what exactly you want them to do. Now here, when we are talking about the different age groups, now each individual is different. Some are very fast, some are very slow, which we have discussed earlier. Now the same thing, the same cycle comes in here. Now when you are teaching them, when like I have told you an example saying receiving a ball. Now when boy is receiving a ball using his inside of the foot, but you want him to move ahead and control the ball. Now that time, if the boy is not able to do that, you should not discourage him, but in a way you should come in such a way that he masters that. So in order to do that, for let the boy move ahead and receive the ball, you need to add another, maybe add another player behind him. Just tell them the rule that before the next boy comes and get the ball, you need to come forward and then receive the ball. I mean, shield the ball. That is how you need to plan your training session. You need to rethink whether the same technique, the same situation can be handled by all the boys in the class, or should I take them, a separate class for each of them. Now it is upon you. As a coach, you must decide. You must decide and you must design the training accordingly. Now, preparing for peak performance. Now, when you are shaping, molding someone, a player, you need to quickly understand. Now, if he is not being able to do that in a simplest form, then it is difficult for him to master the technique, when he is in a game-like situation. So, in all the sessions you design, I think you need to design the training in such a way that whatever has been taught in the earlier part of the session must conclude with a small-sided games. A small-sided game may be of 5v5, 6v6, 7v7. It is up to you and how much players are around you. So when you see that, it will be, it is our duty to take note of small things, whether this boy can really control the ball when situation arises for him like that, whether he is being able to adapt to play with his friends. If he's not, then you need to design a different training maybe for him or maybe for the whole class if they are not being able to catch up.